Now to trouble for Kannada from Meta. Vasudha, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has asked Meta to temporarily suspend auto-translation feature for Kannada till the system is improved. This after he raised serious concerns over inaccurate automatic translation of Kannada content on Meta-owned platforms including Facebook and Instagram. He pointed out that it's causing factual errors in government communication, and even a condolence message of the Chief Minister to Saroja Devi, after she passed away, translated into something absolutely factually incorrect for the Chief Minister.
That's very intriguing, very interesting, and a symbol of the kind of problems that we face. Siddaramaiah's media advisor KV Prabhakar has written to Meta on behalf of the Chief Minister, is what we understand. The letter, if you look at it, it notes that auto translations are frequently inaccurate and in some cases also misleading. This poses a significant risk, especially when public communications, official statements or important messages from the Chief Minister and government are incorrectly translated. That's what the letter says. This is a serious issue being flagged by Karnataka and could lead to questions over accuracy in AI, in auto translations, and it is a techno-linguistic issue, if I may say, Veera.
That's right. So how much can you depend on auto-translate? Joining us this evening, noted Kannada academic voice, Professor Chandan Gowda. Also with us, Shruti Mishra of QuantPlay, an AI educator. Chandan, first tell me, we saw that instance of the Chief Minister's condolence message in Kannada being translated into something enormously, tragically, factually incorrect, if I may put it lightly. How serious is this issue? How inaccurate can a Kannada to English auto-translate be? As an academic, any real-time examples that you have struggled with?
Veera, this has happened in Karnataka, but it's truly a pan-India problem. And it's amusing, also disturbing, that it's taken more than 15 years since the officials and politicians routinely take to social media for making official communications public, for them to realize that this could be a problem. Mistranslation is almost always the case. It's never perfect. And in this case, it's proved to be, something that has seemed like, egregiously wrong. But if you think about it, the officials and the politicians ought to have known of this all along. And like a Facebook friend, someone who worked in Facebook told me, posting images of what you want to say is, risk-free, because there's no translation possible of an image, but you've got your message across. That is something that should have happened all along. It's extremely, this should have been checked for a long time ago. It's taken a problem of this kind to bring it to our attention.
Shruti, how do you look at the limits of technology here? Is it going to get better? Are you optimistic that at some point we'll have a tool that will exactly translate the context and subtext of everything that we want to say?
Yes, I definitely believe that we'll be having a tool like this in the future. And again, like what Meta is working on right now is definitely something which needs to be improved. Along with that, something Gemini is also doing, and the Google team is working on something which will help us use all the Indic languages and everything, all the languages which is in India will be easily translated via that. So I know for a fact that Google is definitely working on this, and this will be very helpful for all the people, everybody in India in the future. For Meta, I'm sure they are working on this, and I believe they don't have sufficient data right now to train their models. But in future, I'm sure we'll be having something way better than this.
Right. Mr. Gowda,
everyone has a funny story, right, Vasudha?
Right,
everyone
absolutely.
has a funny story. When you try to put something and try to translate, you can't yet trust AI. It's not just Siddaramaiah, as Chandan points out, many, many years it's been going on.
Absolutely. I mean, there was this one time when Zomato became Tomato in my story, and there are these stories that we can keep talking about. Chandan Gowda, how do you look at this aspect, this philosophical aspect that, is it okay to even demand technology be completely accurate with our thinking? Because this is just a tool. It's not supposed to be as good as a human being is.
Yes, I mean, like my co-panelist, she's optimistic that technology will eventually become perfect. But I don't know, it could get better. But as far as official communication goes, we know the disasters we have suffered in our own personal tweets and messages. Imagine when the public is being communicated with on matters of public importance. I don't think the government should ever take a chance and hope that AI will someday get it right, but ensure that it posts images of its text. And if it wants translation available, it must have an in-house person to check it before it becomes public.
But Chandan, there's also the question of before you roll out technology, and I think Shruti, you can weigh in on this, the ethicality of rolling out an imperfect technology. I mean, is it the responsibility of big tech platforms to not use guinea pigs in real time, people as guinea pigs in real time to test their technology? They need to make sure that it's perfectly on, and who has the liability? The translation, while it can be a joking matter in some cases, can lead to serious disinformation being spread.
Yes, that is true. And I also believe like when they are doing this, when people are actually reading all the information from the internet, specifically from people like the CM or any renowned personality on the internet, they are definitely taking it for serious. And all these announcements, when these announcement reaches out to millions of people out there, they are actually shaping public understanding, and they should be definitely be taken very seriously by these organizations like big techs. So I definitely believe when we talk about the perfection, I think that is something we cannot say that will happen in the future for sure. I mean, I'm not very sure, but it can definitely become more reliable, transparent, or aligned with our values in the longer run.
Right. Chandan Gowda, how do you see the socio-political reflection of this? Because, you want your tool to be as perfect because this is about language, and language has suddenly, in the last many years, become so important to our identity. Do you see reflection of such sentiment in these demands?
It's Vasudha, just before I get to your question, Veera, you're absolutely right. It's an ethical matter, and I think Meta ought to have actually warned the government beforehand. Look, there is this possibility, please be careful. But now, coming up to your question, Vasudha, I think, if we're only just being able to get a sense of what, these technologies are doing to our minds and creativity, at one level, it's easy, it makes everything easy. But at another level, it's actually reducing the complexity of communication. It is suggesting words for you to reach out to. So I think you're actually becoming a bit lazy in the mind, and I think communication is becoming a lot more standardized than it used to be. So these have deep costs for how we think about things. I think it's an extraordinarily important matter.
I think it's important not to take technology for granted and actually be a multilinguist if possible. Try and learn as much languages as possible to at least make out the mistakes that technology can make. But thanks to the two of you for joining us. Vasudha, I wonder how many languages you speak.
Well, I speak 4 languages, Hindi, Gujarati, Tamil, and of course English. But we all want our tech
Truly
to be
Indian.
so much... Yes, Veera?
Truly Indian, I say.
Absolutely, but we all want tech to be so much better than us, and I have just been addicted to using ChatGPT, and this story has really made me think if I should be actually, using those checks and balances to ensure that the translations are not out of place.